What's up, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to the final week of the MLB season. We have another recap on your hands, and Mike Trout, he might have just saved multiple teams from missing the playoffs. The road to 500 home runs is officially on. Juan Soto is now just 2 stolen bases away from a 40-40 season, but it'll be pointless to Mets fans if they don't make the playoffs. Because the Reds, well, we'll get into that game in a second. Judge and Stanton went brazy yesterday, and they're going brazy again right now as I'm recording today's recap. Nando's back in the lineup. He sent Petco Park into a frenzy. Alek Manoah is no longer a Blue Jay. Another team that actually I think is going to be really, really good in 2026 just picked them up, and the White Sox and Nationals game ended up being one of the most electric games of the year. Stay tuned for that because someone hit 3 home runs in a single game. You guys know the drill. We'll talk about all of that and more in today's MLB recap, and don't forget that recap is brought to you by SeatGeek. Save yourself 20 bucks off all of your tickets using code Fuzzy, and if you download Underdog Fantasy today with code Fuzzy and put in $5, they're going to give you 100 instantly. And just a reminder, if you live in Las Vegas, I will be hosting the AAA Championship with the Aviators here in Vegas later today, so if you guys want to come and meet me, I'll be with a few other creators. Come hang out. If the Red Sox win this game, they'll punch their ticket for the first time in 4 years. I didn't even realize it's been that long. Parker Meadows, he just dropped down a bunt to load the bases, and Javier Baez, he's been great since coming back from that stiff neck thing. Jahmai Jones versus lefties. I mean, the Tigers basically have their own version of Rob Refsnyder or Romy Gonzalez. He is awesome versus lefties. Yoshida, what a turnaround over the last 2 weeks. He got on again in the 7th, and Rafaela, he doubled him over to third base. Casey Mize, he was shredding, but he got taken out after 8 strikeouts, just the 1 earned run. Now it's going to be 2 earned runs because Finnegan could not bail him out. Carlos Narvaez, the rookie catcher, he singled. Then he got replaced by Nate Eaton, who took off for second base. It's a stolen base. He's at third now, and Jarren Duran, he tied the game at 3 apiece. Remember, guys, the Red Sox, they have the most, or they're tied for the most walk-offs with 11. They're about to have the sole possession of the most walk-offs with 12. Ceddanne Rafaela. I was watching this game live because obviously I'm a Guardians fan. I have to see if the Tigers lose. I was hyped out of my mind. Parker Meadows just missed another generational web gem. He missed it by a nanometer. I mean, if he was 6'5", 6'6", he might have made these plays, and because he's a freak athlete, I thought he was going to make the George Valera web gem. This web gem, the Red Sox, for the first time in 4 years, are going to the playoffs. So I think if the Guardians win, they can clinch the Central. I believe. Okay, the Rangers put multiple middle fingers up to that. Rowdy Tellez, he doubled off the wall. There was a meeting on the mound in the first inning with Slade Ciccone, and I'm sure Coach Carl Willis did not say throw a curveball in a lefty's wheelhouse, but that's exactly what Slade did. Alejandro Osuna, he ripped a 3-run home run. Valera, he got on for Manzo, who broke out, thank God, because he's got 1 RBI and a 170 batting average the last 13 games. That's a 2-run home run. But Cody Freeman got them both back an hour later. Jake Berger, he dunked in the final run for the Rangers as they took it easy. Shout out to Jack Leiter, the 2nd overall pick from 2021. He's looking a whole lot better this year. He struck out the side in the 7th, dotting 98. I mean, he had 10 punchies in this one. The Guardians, I think with the Tigers as well, they can clinch today regardless. Because Mike Trout remembered he's Mike Trout. So after Christian Walker homered as the Astros went up 3 and stuff like that, and again, as a Guardians fan, I'm like, come on, Angels, don't do this to me. But then just like the 1994 Disney classic, an angel in the outfield saved me. Mike mashed his 402nd career home run. He has back-to-back games of the home run. Denzer, I mean, you got Denzer Guzman with an RBI double, so it's 3-2, and Chris Taylor put the 3 in CT3, his former nickname. Is he still number 3? Either way, it's 3-3. Trouty, the classic inside-out Trout Tater, his worst season in Major League Baseball by far, still a 25 home run, 350 on base season, but he does have 403 home runs, so the road to 500 is officially on. I think that he's got a pretty good chance of getting there as long as he stays healthy, crossing my fingers. Jansen has 29 saves. That officially puts the Astros in jeopardy of missing out, and if they lose today, the Astros, Houston will be out. Every single spot in the American League will be filled up. Now, to be fair, the Astros have been cursed by the injury gods. I'm talking about Yordan Alvarez multiple times, Jeremy Pena multiple times. Luis Garcia missed a chunk of time, came back, and then he was immediately sent to the shelf again. Josh Hader, Jake Myers, who was having a really good campaign, Ronel Blanco, Hayden Wesneski, they got torched this year. We do have to show Nando's return in a potential World Series preview of the Dodgers and the Mariners, but obviously we have to see if the Mets and the Reds won their games. Lindor has 31 home runs, another leadoff home run. He also has 31 stolen bases. He's sneakily 21 from 300 for his career, talking about home runs. Pete Alonso made it 2-0, but then the God struck back. Brett Baty, oh no, he hurt his shoulder on a swing. He is out for the rest of the season. Heriberto, placed it perfectly on a double the other way. The only way that both score is on that swing right there. Jacob Marsee made it 3-3 on a ball that completely ate up Pete Alonso, so no play at the dish. Agustin Ramirez, he got on, and he was basically allowed to steal 2 free bases. I think that the controller just died for the Mets. By the way, Agustin has 33 doubles, 21 home runs, and 16 stolen bases. He's the first rookie catcher ever to put up those fantasy stats. Xavier Edwards gets a free RBI, and Connor Norby, my lord. The Mets broadcast was absolutely cooking their team. The Mets, they took out earthworms left and right, just grounding baseballs into the dirt. They lost 6-2. But good news, Juan Soto stole 2 bases. I'm not trying to mock Juan Soto or anything. He has 43 home runs and 38 stolen bases, so he's probably going to get to 40, at least in my opinion, but it's not going to mean anything at all if the Mets don't make the playoffs. This is bad, bad, bad if you're a Mets fan. Gavin Lux, he got on for Spencer Steer. The Reds are rallying against the Brewers. Again, Lux doubled ahead of Spencer Steer's single. Lux delivered again with another hustle double that turned into 3 bases. Miguel Andujar has been one of the best pickups in the last few years for trade deadline purposes. He's batting almost .370 with the Reds. Ellie got a lucky single off the bag, so Duhar is over to third base, and Stevenson, he lifted a sac fly, but they didn't need it because the Reds' bullpen was nails. 0 hits the rest of the game. Pagan has 31 saves. The Reds, they now control their own destiny. They're tied with the Mets on paper at 82 and 78, but remember, the Reds, they own the tiebreaker versus the Mets, so if they win today and the Mets lose, it's over. The Mets will drop out of the playoffs. And just a little fun fact from Fuzzy, the Mets are 44 and 56 their last 100 games. They've been bad for months now. We got to show the Yankees and Jays games to see if the best team in the AL has been clinched yet, but before that, Arizona, they're in San Diego, and if they lose, they're eliminated. Ketel Marte, what a hack. He ambushed the first pitch he saw. He has 27 home runs and a 142 OPS plus. Jake the Rake, which, funny enough, used to be Jake Lamb's name, another Diamondback. That is Jake McCarthy's 4th of the season. He's been bad this year. O'Hearn, he has a 7-game hitting streak. He had an RBI single right here. Nando, he's back from being sick. And this is as sick as it gets. Nando with the grand slam Diego in the final game with those white City Connects. I had no idea that those were going away. I love those jerseys. This also was Zach Allen's probable final start as a Diamondback. He is a free agent after the season. A brutal audition for other teams. He almost had a 5 ERA this year, but the Diamondbacks, they're now rallying. They had 5 walks in the 8th inning, so I don't know if this is a rally or the Padres imploding. Mason Miller, he ended the jam with 102 and effectively ended the Diamondback season. Merrill, he had an RBI to score O'Rias, who had 4 base hits in this game. Miller had 3 strikeouts and a 4-out save. The Diamondbacks have been eliminated. That was a fun game if you're a Padres fan heading into the playoffs. We got a World Series preview coming up, and then we'll talk about the Yankees and Jays games. Conforto, what the heck, my guy? Yeah, you just can't do that. I know it was 115 off the bat, but you got to catch that. Enrique, he can smell October in the air. He gets better and better as the season ages, especially when playoffs come around. Cal and Josh Naylor got on. And by the way, Josh Naylor, he just became the 4th first baseman ever with a 20-30 season. He's now stolen 26 in a row this year without getting caught. He had 25 stolen bases in general his first 6 seasons. What even is that? Oh, God, Cal. I'm going to have to call out Cal for a second because he was at third base. Gino lifted a sac fly, but it ended up not being a sac fly. One, because Naylor ran into an out at third base, but Cal eased up. He didn't get there in time before the tag was applied for the 3rd out. So that's basically how the Mariners lost. George Kirby had his bid at 11 wins ruined, even though he had 10 strikeouts. He was awesome. I guess he wouldn't have gotten the W anyways, but it would have been a tie game. It would have been 3-3. This rushing RBI would have been a tie game, but again, George Kirby, he was out there for the 6th. The RBI goes to him. Canzone, he made it 3-2. Now we have the bases loaded versus Tanner Scott. Tanner Scott has been awful. He's taken years off of Dodgers fans' life expectancies, but he does secure his 23rd save. Again, that Cal mental mistake cost them a W, or at least a chance at a W. This start of the Orioles and Yankees game was pretty much me playing against the CPU on La Grasa. If you play MLB The Show 25, you'll understand that reference. Home run after home run after home run. Stanton had a 2-run home run for his 22nd. He's not done yet. Jordan Westburg, at a kid, he quietly has 16 home runs and 3 outs above average. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but he's only played in 83 games. That's a lot of production. Judge, oh my, okay, when I say his stats out loud, he goes 425 feet. He now has a .330 batting average with 52 home runs, 135 runs, scored a .215 OPS plus and a 10 F4. You cannot beat that in my opinion. He's He should win MVP. I just don't know if the narratives are on his side. Stanton went even further, the longest home run of anyone today. Why did Cowser even run after this baseball? So Stanton now has, I believe, 23 home runs. Tyler O'Neill, he's been an absolute abject bust. He has 9 home runs, but a 197 batting average. The Yankees got up to 8. Doval struck out the side, so that's big for Yankees fans seeing Doval lock in. David Bednar does not get a save in this one, but he did strike out 2 to end it. The Yankees have won 6 in a row. They both just homered again. Judge now has 53 home runs. Stanton has 24 in 76 games, which is a 51 home run pace over a full season. The Yankees, whoa. Nathan Lucas put the Jays on his back again. Junior Caminero did hit his 45th home run, so he's 1 away from tying the Rays record set by Carlos Pena for the most home runs in a single season. But also on that swing, Junior became the second 21-year-old ever, joining Eddie Matthews, the Hall of Famer, to have 45 in a single season. He's 22 now, but again, this is age 21 season. I didn't even know that Aranda was back, by the way. It's 2-1 Rays. No idea that Jonathan Aranda was back in the lineup. Yankees fans are licking their chops. It's just that Ernie Clement, his bat exploded, and it still worked out. Varsho scores, and like I said, Lucas backpacked the Jays. After Shane Bieber finished 5, Lucas ripped a 2-run home run. He's only hitting .254, but with runners in scoring position, he's batting .330. Hoffman, another scary brother in Christ, 2 walks. Simpson, he's way too fast, so you have runners on first and third with Yandy up to the dish. He tapped out Yandy. Hoffman got the save, so it's still a tie at the top, but again, tie is in air quotes because the Jays have the tiebreaker. I forgot to mention a few days ago that the Jays let go of Alek Manoah to make room for Anthony Santander. So Manoah is officially gone, and the breaking news is he's now an Atlanta Brave. So the Braves have picked up Ha-Sung Kim and Alek Manoah over the last few weeks. I will say Manoah wasn't even that bad in the minor leagues this year. He had a sub-3 ERA with 30 strikeouts and 33 innings. And remember, back in 2022, he almost won a Cy Young with a 2.24 ERA. I wonder if the Braves can actually fix him. And one more thing I do want to note is that because Alek Manoah was placed on waivers works from worst record to best. So teams like the Rockies, White Sox, Nationals, Twins, Pirates, and Angels all passed on him. Why? I mean, he's relatively cheap and he's got a high ceiling. Maybe they just don't trust in his arm. The Braves, really? They got him? I'm not going to show every single highlight to spare Cardinals fans, but with that being said, Miles Mikolas is one of the worst starting pitchers I've ever seen in my life. He is the modern-day Jordan Lyles Chad innings eater. Nico, by the way, Nico Hoerner, 300 batting average with 7 home runs, 29 stolen bases, platinum-level defense, and a 6.5 WAR. PCA, the aura is off the charts. He officially joins the 30-30 club. He is the second Cub to ever do that after Sammy Sosa, who I believe did it twice. He's also the 6th guy this season to do it the most ever in a single season. He got a standing ovation after he went out there in center field. Colin Ray has looked like Jake Arrieta his last few starts. He had 7 more strikeouts. He has 29 his last 23 innings. Michael Busch has 32 home runs. Miles Mikolas has a 5 ERA since 2023. Seiya said see ya for the 30th time. The Cubs, they joined the Mets, the Yankees, I believe, a couple other teams that have 3 guys with 30 home runs. And by the way, Kyle Tucker, he was activated in this game. So the Cubs, watch out for them. Chicago gets a little bit of fine-tuning before the playoffs. Same with the Phillies. Aaron Nola, this was by far his best start of the season. He just passed Robin Roberts for the 2nd most strikeouts in Phillies history. Edmundo Sosa went yard again. He's batting .360 with a 1.1 OPS the last 16 games. That basically coincides perfectly with Trey being out. So the Phillies are 13-3 over those 16, so they're not missing Trey at all, which is crazy. Christian Vasquez did ruin the no-no, the perfect game, the shutout, everything. Marsh thankfully got that run back, although he didn't really need it. Talking about Aaron Nola, because he overcame a leadoff triple by Cody Clemens later in the game. He had back-to-back strikeouts and got lead a fly out. He picked up his 9th strikeout in the 8th. He completes 8 with just 2 base hits. Johan Duran, he was facing his old team. He had 2 strikeouts. He converted his 32nd save. The Phillies have 95 wins. That's the 2nd most in baseball. They've won 3 in a row. The White Sox and the Nationals, I talked about this in the intro. They just casually had one of the best games of the year. The Sox, they stormed out to a 4-0 lead thanks to Miguel Vargas, a 2-run double from Brooks Baldwin, Lenyn Sosa. It was 4-0 in the first, and Sosa got back to the run production after Josh Bell banged out his 22nd home run. Bell is hitting .355 with 6 home runs and 18 RBIs his last 16 games. Sosa, what a swing, 96 way inside, and he somehow got it to go for his 22nd home run. Kyle Teal had an RBI, and Sosa, more RBIs. He was a triple away from the cycle in this game. So the White Sox made it 8-1 on a Will Robertson sac fly. here comes the Nationals. Luis Garcia Jr. now has 14 home runs. CJ Abrams, his no-doubters are as sick as it gets. He has 35 doubles, 19 home runs, and 31 stolen bases. He's 24 years old. He already has 100-plus doubles and 100-plus stolen bases. Luis, his second of the game. Also, I'm going to give this a 10 out of 10 no-doubt swing. Dalen Lyle knew it as well. A 3-run home run to tie it. Dalen is batting .395 with 15 extra base hits, 17 RBIs, and a 1.2 OPS this month. Luis, the trifecta. Garcia for the lead. But then Colson Montgomery, what even is this game? The rookie crushed a go-ahead 2-run home run for his 20th of the season. It was his 69th game, so a very nice 20 home runs. The White Sox take it 10-9. That was awesome. This Royals and A's game was also kind of fun. Jonathan India just hit a 3-run rocket, hello. But then Jacob Wilson, he erased it with a base-clearing double. Jacob Wilson, as a rookie, is hitting .315 with a tiny 7% strikeout rate and a 122 OPS plus. The Royals, they couldn't roll 2, so it's 2 outs in the 9th inning with a runner on first base for Shea. Adam Frazier, he looked like Kyle Schwarber out there or a newborn baby giraffe. That ball has to get caught instead. It's a walk-off double for Shea Langeliers, who now has 31 doubles, 31 home runs, and a 132 OPS plus. For a catcher, that is insane. Do not let Cal Raleigh's insane season overshadow what Shea has done this year. He's been awesome. Willie wants 30. No, not Jay Willie. Willie Adames. And I think Barry Bonds was in attendance for this game. Willie has 29 home runs. It's really cool to see him bounce back after he was dreadful for the first month and a half, 2 months. That's a 2-run home run. Jung-Hoo Lee, he's off to the races with a triple. Grant McCray, he took a walk, and Elliot Ramos, this guy flat out rakes. A 3-run home run. He has 4 home runs his last 7 games. Tovar also had a 3-run home run. I'm hoping that he stays healthy for 2026. Eldridge, he's been useless, but he's 20 years old. Anytime you see a ball get put in play for an RBI, that's going to help. Again, especially when you're 20 years old in the big leagues. That would suck. Matt Olson is 1 away from joining the 30 home run club for what would be the 5th time. If not, it would be the 3rd time he's been at exactly 29 home runs. Tommy Pham, sheesh. I mean, at 37, 38, 39 years old, he can still crush baseballs 435 feet. Henry Davis, I can't believe that this is a real stat, but he is now 2 for his last 51 with runners in scoring position. He came into that at bat 1 for his last 50. I need Henry Davis to break out. Nicky G, he made it 4-1. 4-2. Michael Harris, for the first time in his young career, goes 20-20. So that's 20 home runs, 20 stolen bases on the dot, and he has 8 outs above average defensively. Spencer Horwitz, why did my team, the Guard Dogs, have to trade him for an alleged gambling addict? Okay, that ball's crushed. Drake Baldwin, I don't know who the NL Rookie of the Year is. I really don't. Is it Cade Horton or Baldwin? He has 80 RBIs on the dot as a brick wall defensive catcher. He wins an 8-pitch at bat to score Ronald from first base. Spencer Horwitz, a 3-run perfect now. He's batting .311 with 6 home runs, 17 RBIs, 16 walks to only 13 strikeouts his last 30 games. He has 37 doubles and 19 home runs his last 162. He is a legit bat, and I wish that he was in the lineup for the Guardians. And there we have it, another recap in the books. This season has been filled with chaos, history. I mean, you name it, this season gave it to us. So if you guys have enjoyed so far, leave a like and subscribe. And just a reminder, I will be hosting the AAA Championship here in Vegas. So if you live in Vegas, come hang out with me. Come do a little meet and greet. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'll see you guys there, and enjoy the webcast.
That's chopped off the plate. Lindor comes in short, hops and throw him out.
Ibanez to left field, pretty deep, but Duran will leap and make the catch.
Just to try to stack a few zeros. How about this play?
Westburg grabs a ground ball and skips it in.
He splits this toward the right field foul pole. Corbin Carroll's on the run.
Fly ball not very deep in center field. Who's going to get it? Soto coming in, and Soto slides to make the catch.